A lot of people have been asking me about the build I've been using in my past videos, so I'll be going in depth about the weapon I'm using, the talismans, my summon, my stats, and how to get those for yourself. So I'll say right now, spoiler alert for upcoming areas of the game. And first we'll start it off with the Sword of Night and Flame. This weapon scales only with your intelligence and faith. It has a very weak scaling in your strength and your dexterity. So there's essentially 0 point into putting points into it. If you start off with the Samurai class, you already meet the requirements for the strength and dex, and you only need to upgrade your intelligence and your faith. This sword is really good for magic builds because it allows you to cast 2 very strong spells without need of memories or a seal. The way this weapon works is if you hold the weapon art button, whatever that is, it's left trigger on consoles, you enter this stance. And if you click the light attack button or the right bumper on consoles, you do this very powerful beam attack. If you do the same stance, but with the heavy attack, you do this sweeping flame swing. And don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure the beam attack scales with your intelligence, and the flame attack scales with your fire, because I've heard that people say the fire attack is very weak, but that's because their faith is low. I have a video out on how to get this. It's my most recent video, how to get the best sword. So if you are a magic build or looking for just a fun weapon to respec into, this is the move. It is very fun, very amazing, especially when mixed with the Mimic Tier Ash, which is in that same video on how to get this sword. So if you want the Mimic Tier Ash and the sword, or even this Black Wolf mask and the Gold Scarab, it's all in that recent video. For those of you that are wondering about the armor, it is called Blade's Armor. You get it from completing Ronnie's questline and then returning to Ronnie's Rise and killing the NPC there. Moving on to talismans, I'm using the Cerulean Sea Talisman and the Stargazer Heirloom, which I'll show you how to get after showing the stats. Your size stick really doesn't matter. These 2 tiers I'm using are very end game, and you get them from killing bosses, so just make your way through the game. You'll end up finding these cracked tiers in churches, killing bosses. It's not that hard. You can really use whatever. I'm using one that boosts my magic attacks and makes stance breaking easier to stun, but if you're looking for a magic build, you can use the Cerulean Crystal tier so that you can have more health flasks if you don't want to spec into allocating your flasks to Cerulean flasks. You can just keep them on Crimson tiers. If you pair this build with the Mimic tier Ash, you won't have to worry about extra Cerulean tier flasks to cover your summons because it actually takes from your health pool, so you can put more health flasks in for your summons. As for my stats, I have 40 Vigor, 30 Mind, 35 Endurance, 12 Strength, 15 Dexterity, 33 Intelligence, 32 Faith, and 8 Arcane. I've not put any points into Arcane, Strength, or Dexterity. This is the starting numbers for the Samurai class. 35 I've been at in my Endurance for quite some time, since the earlier part of my playthrough, and same with 40 Vigor. It just allows you to have a decent chunk of health where you can survive most enemies depending on your point in the game. 35 Endurance allows you to wear most heavy armor with a decently weighted sword or weapon without slow rolling. Mind isn't optional for this sword. You can do about 4 to 5 magic attacks with the sword before using any flasks, even if you only have like 10 mind. But really what you should be speccing into is intelligence and faith, because this is what your sword scales with. I recommend you just go half and half as you level up slowly. As you can see, mine is very close. Next time I level up, it'll go into faith, so I can even it out with my intelligence. Arcane, I'll tell you now, is a very useless stat. You never have to worry about that unless you're a full magic build and you need it for some spells, but it doesn't boost any of your stats really, so it's useless if you're not using a magic build. Now, if you're one of those people that doesn't have the stats required for this sword or for my build, you have to come here to the Raya Lucaria Grand Library, and you must complete the Raya Lucaria Castle. After beating Ronella, the final boss of Raya Lucaria, she will become an NPC. Using 1 larval tier, you can talk to Ronella, and you can respec your points. All you really need is 25 intelligence, 25 faith, nothing else. If you really want the sword itself to do damage, everything else is up to personal preference, whether you want more magic, Whether you want more health, more stamina, more carry weight, stuff like that. That's all up to you. But the main part is just getting your intelligence and faith up to 25 at least, and going up from there to scale up your sword. Now, I'll show you how to get the Cerulean Seed and the Stargazer's Heirloom. If you need the sword itself, or the Mimic Tier Ash for this build, I just recommend you look at my last video. It shows where these two things are. You can get the Cerulean Seed at any time, but in order to get the Stargazer Heirloom, you need to have progressed within Ronnie's questline up until the point of unlocking the Kyrian Inverted Statue. So, in order to get the Cerulean Seed Talisman, you need to come here to the Study Hall entrance on Eastern Liurnia. If you have the Kyrian Inverted Statue, do not examine this pedestal yet. You will do that after we get this first talisman. At the top of this lift, there will be an annoying magic NPC. You can just run past him. You do not need to fight him at all. You just run past all these enemies that spawn and follow the route on screen. Now, if you don't kill the magic NPC, just know it has a soul arrow attack, so you will have to time your dodges to not get easily one-tapped by that. It's a very annoying attack. When you get up to these rafters, look out for these rats. They will push you off. If you land on the chandeliers, you can make your way down, and it is a safe distance to drop. Don't mind the lost runes there. I promise I did not die here. And on this body here, you will find these... Ow. Ruining my damn guide. On this body, you will find the Cerulean Seed Talisman, which gives you a permanent boost to the amount of FP restored in your flask. And now, if you have the inverted statue as required for the Stargazer Heirloom, you just want to run back to the entrance, and you will place the inverted statue on this pedestal. It will trigger a cutscene. And if you return to the elevator, you'll notice that it's gone and it's fully upside down. So you must come through here, jump through this window. There'll be lots of hands. You can run past all these enemies if you want, and the same magic NPC that spawns in the library we were just in will respawn here in this inverted version. You could run past, you could kill them, depending on if you're strong enough or if you want to. Then you want to take this elevator. Go through this upside down door. It'll trigger a cutscene. Then you want to make the long run across to the tower. And inside of this divine tower, you will find the Stargazer Heirloom. I am very, very sorry. I don't have the exact location of it, and I don't want to give any false information. So just know it is in here. There's nothing really to look around at. You just come to the door. If you see an item, essentially pick it up. I'm very sorry I don't have the exact location. You want to take the long elevator up. Once you get to the top, there will be a side of grace. And please just look around for the item. I'm very, very, very sorry I cannot show you where it is. I don't have the exact location. There's not that much to look through, though. I'm pretty sure it spawns near this body here. If not, just look around, but it does spawn in this tower. If you know where it is, please let me know in the comments. Pin it so everyone knows. But it is in this tower. Now I'll show you some gameplay of the sword. Do you see there he'll use the magic? Drop the summon. Heal up. You see, I even played that boss fight like I was in an E3 trailer and I still kicked its ass. So that's how strong this build is. So thank you guys for watching. I'll be making a video on how to actually unlock Tree for that farm because some people have been asking how you get here. So I'll be showing you how to get that in my next video. But until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'm out.